0.
Really good play from Armstrong, just cutting him from left-hand side, just putting it out to Fellows. As I said, he'll be in the right wing-back position. He's just tried to cut it back to Stewart. Maybe I thought that Armstrong should have got his shot away. As it come to Stewart, he just tried to bend it with the instep of his right foot, got a good block Middlesbrough, and went out for a throw-in for Southampton over on their right-hand side.
Ronnie Edwards keeps it in play on the far side and rolls it back via Nathan Wood, the son of former professional footballer Dean Gordon, to Alex McCarthy. Wood again looks for Edwards, playing in a slightly unfamiliar position for him today, if it is indeed an orthodox right back slot, the former Peterborough youngster. Manning tucks it infield for Shea Charles, who scored his first goal for Southampton in that draw, that game at Liverpool in the Carabao Cup in midweek. Good finish as well, instinctively inside the box. Pull down the Middlesbrough right, just skips away from David Strelic, and it's going to be a goal kick for Southampton. Sunny skies in part, but there's also cloud around here on the south coast, but the pitch currently bathed in sunlight. 0-0. Here's Ryan Manning working it into midfield, finds the pass through to Finn Azaz, getting a few boos from the Middlesbrough fans in the corner where the chapel end meets the Kingsland stand, away to our far left hand side. Now forward comes Fellows, looking to slip it through for Armstrong. Luke Ayling does just enough facing his own goal to control it and find a teammate so that Middlesbrough could get it clear. But Strelic then loses out to Wood. Shea Charles brings a foul out of Aidan Morris, and that's a free kick to Southampton in the middle of the Middlesbrough half. 0-0, 3 gone.
Yeah, Charles doesn't mess around. He just hits a lovely little nutmegs. He's looked lively, even if you can tell by player stance after like a couple of minutes if they're on it. And Charles, a couple of times he's got the ball deep in his own half, where he's let the ball roll across his body, and he's just put it out to Fellows on that right hand side. There he just gets a lovely little nutmeg, gets fouled, so it's a dangerous position for a free kick for a Southampton, sort of the inside left position, which Ryan Manning will take, and he'll in-swing it with his left foot.
To send it from left to right, will Manning. Middlesbrough holding their line pretty much at the edge of the D. One or two Southampton players standing deliberately in offside positions just to try and tempt them back a little bit further. Now the referee blows his whistle. Manning addresses the ball, sends it in left-footed, but headed out by the first defender, which was Strelic. Comes out to the edge of the box, and Azaz, against his old club, tries an ambitious drive from fully 30 yards out. It sails over the crossbar. 0-0 here. Shrewsbury 0, MK Dons 1 in League 2. Scott Hogan for MK, who are on an absolutely dreadful run at the moment. No win in 5, and Colchester lead at Fleetwood. Kyrese Lisby makes it Fleetwood 0, Colchester 1. No win in 6 in the league for the U's. So those are the first goals this afternoon anywhere in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Earlier today, Coventry, you heard, soundly beating Birmingham City 3-0 at lunchtime. Brentford beating Manchester United 3-1 over on TalkSport. Draws between Swansea and Millwall and Wrexham and Derby in the Championship, and wins for Wimbledon and Stevenage and Crewe in League 1 and League 2, and Oldham and Barnet, they finished all square in League 2. Ball's out on the left-hand side with Alfie Jones for Middlesbrough. Shows too much of that to Finn Azaz, who hit it against Alfie Jones, and it went out of play for a Southampton throw, pretty much bang on halfway on the far side of the field. 0-0.
Every time you say Finn Azaz, I just think of Ed Sheeran. It sounds like an Ed Sheeran song, doesn't it?
I never thought of it that way. I thought you were going to say it's like a Tommy Cooper, I've just done a spell. Finn Azaz. Here's Adam Armstrong working the ball back to Wood, the Southampton centre-half, just inside the D in his own penalty area. Works it out quickly to Ronnie Edwards, who immediately tries to spread it down the line, looking for Tom Fellows, but a very good sliding challenge from Matt Targett, who is an important cog in that Middlesbrough defensive machine, having come in on loan from Newcastle United for the season. Born in Eastleigh and joined Southampton at 8 years of age, Matt Targett. Made his debut over 10 years ago here. Now he's back on his old stomping ground, wearing a Middlesbrough shirt. He'll have some defending to do here, because here come Southampton again. Adam Armstrong, left-hand corner of the area, tries to drive between two players, but one of them, Ayling, got a touch. It's out of play for a throw. 0-0.
Yeah, upset Adam Armstrong just trying to cut in on his right foot. Luke Ayling did really well, obviously playing in that right side of the back three for Middlesbrough. Ball just goes out for a throw-in for Southampton on their left-hand side.
Long throw specialist is Joshua Kwashi. He's the man that's going to hurl this as far as he can into the Middlesbrough penalty area. Wood is standing inside the 6-yard box in front of the near post. He may be the most obvious target. Charles is there too, trying to make some room. In it comes from Kwashi. It's over the head of Wood and headed out by Callum Britton. Straight back to Kwashi. Cushions a header down for Manning, who swirls across deep to the far post. Azaz tried to bring it down, but that allowed Matt Targett to get a foot in and clear it downfield, and it trickles out of play for a Southampton throw. Still 0-0 on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, really good defending from Middlesbrough from Kwashi's long throw. He's got it nearly onto the near post, and in the end I think it was Hackney who was just standing in front of Edmonton, just doing his defensive duties. So what Middlesbrough do from that long throw dance is they go man for man near post, and they go zonal right across the 6-yard box.
Braintree 0, Gateshead 1 in the National League this afternoon. Rochdale would go top today if they win at Carlisle in third. That's a great game in prospect up there at Brunton Park. 0-0 here at St Mary's Stadium in the Championship, with coming up for 8 minutes played on your home of the EFL, TalkSport 2. Hayden Hackney for Middlesbrough, midway point of his own half, plays a short pass into Morris, then it's work backwards to square to Alfie Jones, who's hit it against Azaz. Azaz brings the ball down the right-hand side for Southampton. Early cross looking for Ross Stewart. It might bounce for Armstrong, but Ayling came across in the nick of time to get it away for Middlesbrough. And then Whittaker tries to bring it clear, but he can't quite get to the ball sent to him by Conway. And Southampton are snapping into challenges and winning the ball back. And that was a good break they had on there, but they didn't make it pay. 0-0.
Good tracking down there from Azaz as the ball come out to Jones. He's just trying to put it out to Target, and he reads it like a book, gets himself in the 18-yard box. I think Stewart can just delay his run dance there to the near post. He's just gone a bit too early, and Azaz just pulled the ball back behind him.
Southampton trying to win possession down this near side with Ross Stewart, but he's conceded a throw right next to where Rob Edwards is standing in his grey hoodie top and his black tracky bottoms. In fact, both the tracksuit managers will still all in black, but with some rather natty trainers on.
I just saw Will Steele and Rob Edwards with their BMX bikes. Actually, they just parked them up. They took the back wheels off just to make the front wheels off so no one can nick them.
It's Swindon Town 1, Bromley 0 in League 2. Ollie Palmer for Swindon, who had their first defeat in 6 last time out. Middlesbrough trying to send the ball long downfield. Strelec is in at the edge of the area, faced up by Wood. Tries to lay it off to a teammate. Does he know he's making room inside the D? Then he tries to flick it through for Conway, and it was cleared away by Edwards coming around from fullback. But it's picked up by Ayling, and Middlesbrough will have it again. Down the right-hand side with Callum Britton. Early cross, swung into the area, but a good claim from Alex McCarthy coming out to his 6-yard line and clutching hold of it gratefully. 0-0 the score.
Yeah, it's really good play from Strelec. A couple of times he's come short, just go long, and he's got himself in that left-hand channel. And then it's Wood who's trying to get back and get goal side. I actually think Dance, as he gets to the 18-yard box, he can take a shot with his left foot. But then he decides to come back in. That gives Wood the chance to get back and just get a little challenging.
Southampton win a free kick on the far side. There was a bit of a foul on Tom Fellows, who was brought in from West Bromwich Albion at the end of the window. Elsewhere in the Championship, Ipswich have just taken the lead against Portsmouth. Only one win in the league, and it was the hat-trick hero from a couple of weeks back, Jayden Philogene, who's got the opener for Ipswich against Pompey. 0-0 here at St Mary's. Adam Armstrong wriggling his way down the left-hand side, with Southampton attacking the chapel end to our left in this first half. Now Ronnie Edwards spreads play out to Fellows, level with the 18-yard line, right-hand side, having a run at Matt Targett, pulls the ball back from the dead ball line, and it almost found its way through to Azaz, but Alfie Jones instead got his foot in front and thumped it out of play for a throw. 0-0.
Yeah, worked it really well, Southampton, from Azaz into Stewart and out to Yander, then all the way out to that right-hand side to Fellows. Little Michael Flatley foot over, just goes over top the ball with his right foot, and then goes to go on the outside of Targett, pulls the ball back but can't quite get enough purchase on it, just get underneath it, gets the far post, cleared it near post from Middlesbrough. There's really good battle on Middlesbrough's left-hand side, Southampton's right-hand side. Dance said there with Targett, because Middlesbrough play East Pan as a wing-back, so Fellows has been designated that when Targett goes forward, then, as I said, Fellows goes back into like a right wing back defensive position. Then when Southampton are in possession, and he goes and plays as that wide of the three. So it's a good little individual battle that's developing over on that side.
0-0 here, 1-0 to Crystal Palace in the Premier League against Liverpool. Ismaila Sarr has put the Eagles in front at Selhurst Park. I'll keep you in touch with all the goals as they go in around the leagues.
That's how you play a 3-4-2-1 system.
Indeed, Oliver Glasner still pulling up trees despite losing Eze in the transfer window. Here at St Mary's, 0-0, 12 minutes gone between Southampton and the Championship leaders Middlesbrough. Southampton have won a free kick out on the right-hand side. Fellows again in the wars. Salford City are in front of Bristol Rovers in League 2 this afternoon. 5 unbeaten Salford, and Matt Butcher has given them the lead at the Mem. So Shay Charles standing over this free kick for Southampton. It's just in from the far touchline in front of the Kingsland stand, about the midway point of the Middlesbrough half. Once again, Middlesbrough holding their defensive line at the edge of the D, and 2 or 3 Southampton players deliberately standing in offside positions ahead of them, but that will change when the ball is struck, or at least that's the plan. Charles then, who had a loan at Sheffield Wednesday last season at Championship level before coming back to the Saints, sends the kick in right-footed, drops to the near post for Adam Armstrong, who managed to get a flick on it, but it had no power, and a comfortable hold for Sol Bryn in the Middlesbrough goal, 0-0.
Yeah, I think Charles is actually trying to whip it in between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. Doesn't get enough pace on it. Say Armstrong making a darting run to near post, just got his toe to it, but this harmlessly went through to Bryn. Looks like the ball's had a bit of a puncture.
Yep, we've got a busted football, and the referee received it from Aidan Morris, has immediately rolled it to the touchline. That can go in the furnace, or wherever it goes, wherever footballs go, maybe onto someone's roof or something, like a flat roof somewhere. There's that great Twitter account, Lost Footballs, those sad looking footballs on the top of sort of flat roofs right around the country.
What about, you mentioned Shrewsbury earlier, it used to have the coracle, have the river,
the bloke who had to go out in the middle of the river and fetch him back.
Get your paddle out, mate, go and get the ball. And in those days, Dan, there's probably only 2 match balls, so you just have to wait for him to go and get it before you actually start kicking off again.
Crikey, that'd be added time and then some, wouldn't it?
No,
Coracle time.
Just 90 minutes done, finished, we're out of here.
FC Halifax have scored a couple of quick goals in the National League to lead Aldershot by 2-0. We've had 14 minutes gone here at St Mary's in the Championship. The leaders, Middlesbrough, looking to play the ball forward to get Strelec in behind, left-hand side of the area. Woods tracking the run. Strelec holds it up left-hand corner of the box. Options to his right. Hackney just there with him. Hackney looks up to the edge of the area for Whittaker. He then gives it back to Hackney, and Whittaker was caught as he released the ball. So Middlesbrough have been awarded a free kick dead centre, somewhere between 20 and 25 yards out from goal, 0-0.
Just really good play again from Strelec. Just making sure that, again, comes short to go long in that sort of left-hand channel. Then it comes back out to Whittaker. Whittaker's got really quick feet. Just tries to cut inside. And it's I think it was Azaz just trying to get himself back goal side and just dangles out a lazy right foot. Quite rightly, Faria Hallam, the referee, gives the free kick.
Manchester City 1, Burnley 0. Maxime Esteve with an own goal puts Manchester City ahead, and Lincoln 1-0 up at Peterborough in League 1. Adam Reach for the Imps. Free kick for for Middlesbrough, I beg your pardon. It's 25 yards from goal to the left of centre, and you've got Tommy Conway standing about 2 or 3 yards back from the ball. Matt Targett standing right over the ball, but he's now pacing back from it. Conway steps up, leaves it for Targett, bends it round the wall and hits the post and stays out. Came firing back out into play, and it's just thumped downfield gleefully by the Southampton rearguard to get it away. Casper Yander just getting it as far downfield as possible. So close for Matt Targett against his former club, 0-0.
Didn't quite hit the target, did he, Matt Targett, to be fair, Dan, because it's a brilliant free kick on that inside left position. He just bends it with his left foot around the outside of the wall. McCarthy was really struggling. I think he thought he was going to nestle down to his right-hand side, hits the post, bounces straight back out again.
Middlesbrough have it again, 0-0, but pressing forward. They pick out Morgan Whittaker, right-hand side, up to the edge of the area, looking for the infield run of Callum Britton, but Southampton intercept. Armstrong's got 4 blue shirts around him, still managed to get it away, and then a lucky ricochet for Southampton sees the ball rebound into Alex McCarthy's arms. Gillingham 0, Harrogate 1. Remember, Gill's unbeaten under Gareth Ainsworth since he went in towards the end of last season, but Stephen Duke McKenna has put the Yorkshire side ahead at Priestfield.
It's the second best start in their Football League history, Gillingham. They went 13 games unbeaten in 1963-64 when they got promotion.
Although I think there's stuff going on off the field with Gillingham. I think there's legal action being taken against their former owner, Paul Scally. But they're trailing on the field this afternoon. Still 0-0 here on the south coast. 17 minutes played. Southampton 0, the Championship leaders Middlesbrough 0. Earlier today we brought you Coventry's convincing 3-0 win against Birmingham City in the lunchtime commentary, whilst there were draws in the Championship between Swansea and Millwall and Wrexham and Derby. Both those games finished 1-1. Southampton in possession with Adam Armstrong. Gives it back to Ryan Manning, and then Kouachi in his own half will play a square ball for Wood. Wood just casually brings the ball up to the halfway line, slides it out to Ronnie Edwards, right hand side, and now Shea Charles takes over on the halfway line for the hosts, looking for an option. Not much movement ahead of him. Stewart's come very short to receive it there and give it back to Nathan Wood on halfway. Now it goes out to the right hand side once more, and Ronnie Edwards flicks it in field for Kasper Janda, and the German plays a short 1-2 with Fellows. Charles takes over once again, centre of the Middlesbrough half. Works it left for Manning. Manning thought about an early ball, does fire it into Armstrong, and turns and shoots very well, but it was straight at the goalkeeper, Sol Bryn, who could make a comfortable save, just patting the ball down in front of him. But good strength on that strike from outside the box by Adam Armstrong. 0-0.
It was a brilliant first touch from Adam Armstrong, because it was fired into him from left back position from Ryan Manning inside left position, and he just took a great first touch, swiveled, and first time he's hit his shot, it gets straight at Bryn in the Middlesbrough goal. But yeah, just good lively play on this left hand side from Southampton. I'm just looking at Middlesbrough dance, where you can tell that how well structured. We've seen Strelec, make a few runs in behind in that left hand channel, and what happens there is Whittaker and Conway then come a bit deep in the 2-10 positions, and they push the two fullbacks, especially on the left hand side, target like high and wide. So it's all very well structured and choreographed, and it's good to see a centre forward actually threatening in behind.
That's Perry Groves alongside me, Ian Danter here at Southampton. Perry NG has given Cardiff the lead at Wigan in League One, 1-0 in favour of the Bluebirds, who had their first league defeat last time out. Got walloped at home as well by Bradford, but that's a good response so far at the DW Stadium. 19 minutes gone here on TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL, between Southampton starting the day in 19th with just one league win to their name against the leaders Middlesbrough, and it's all square. Live Super League tonight on TalkSport 2. So you've got a choice of live sport at 8 o'clock. Either Leeds against St Helens here in the Super League playoffs, or you've got Spurs against Wolves, our evening Premier League exclusive. That's on TalkSport at the same time, 8 o'clock. Ryan Manning tries to drive the ball downfield tight to this near touchline, but screwed it horribly out of play. Managerless Cheltenham lead at Grimsby Town. Isaac Hutchinson puts the Robins ahead. Michael Flynn was dismissed after their defeat last weekend, and Gateshead have a second to go 2-0 up at Braintree in the National League. Given away at the back by Middlesbrough. Was that a push on Ross Stewart? Nothing given, says the referee. Middlesbrough gave the ball away in their own defensive third. Ross Stewart was onto it, but Farai Hallam, the referee, adjudged that Ross Stewart went down too cheaply and it wasn't a foul. 0-0 it stays.
Dan, you know what you can tell by players' body language sometimes, because when the ball ricocheted to Ross Stewart, you said there it was Jones who gave the ball away, and then Edmondson's trying to get himself back goal side. Stewart goes down. To be fair, the referee, Farai Hallam, I think he's got it 100% right, because I think Stewart's just gone down a little bit too easy. Where on first looks from where we are, it looked like that he'd had his legs taken away from him. Really good refereeing from Farai Hallam, but really shocking play from Jones. That's the second time that Jones has given the ball away, trying to play it from the back.
And no complaints from Ross Stewart really either, I'll note, when he got back to his feet. But a bit of a scare for Middlesbrough at the back, and they're under pressure again here because Southampton have fed the ball into Adam Armstrong. Can't step inside Luke Ayling though. Rob Edwards has been so impressed with Luke Ayling. He says he's playing like a 24-year-old. not a 34-year-old, the way he's been getting about in this three-man defence for Middlesbrough, and he was quick to stop Adam Armstrong getting in field. Long throw though for Southampton here, 0-0.
Yep, Kwashi will take the long throw from this left-hand side. Good defending from Luke Ayling, just making sure that he just filled in that right back position, because brilliant switch of play from Edwards over to Armstrong this left-hand side. Now it's whether Middlesbrough can defend this long throw,
which Kwashi's about to send in about 10 yards from the corner flag on this near side to us. The Southampton left, looking for the near post. It might break in front of goal for Shay Charles, but it's hooked away by the Middlesbrough defence and goes all the way back into the Southampton half, and Alex McCarthy, the goalkeeper, stood in the midway point of his own half. Finds Manning. Now Kwashi takes over. Adam Armstrong knows he's got Callum Britton at his back, so elects to give it back in field. Nathan Wood, midway point of his own half for Southampton, finds Edwards. We've reached the midway point of the first half here on TalkSport 2. No goals between Southampton and Middlesbrough, but a couple of scares for the Championship leaders. And Will Still had said to me after the cup defeat to Liverpool that it was just annoying little inconsistencies that were costing his team. Can they make something count this afternoon? As Adam Armstrong goes down wanting a free kick, but the referee wags his finger and waves those claims away. Stockport County lead in League One against Reading through Kyle Wotton at Edgeley Park. Stockport only one win in their last 4 league games. Southampton win it back. Yanda finds Finn Azaz, trying to get Tom Fellows away right hand side, who clashes with Alfie Jones, and that's going to be a yellow card at the very least, and is for Alfie Jones. Fellows just toe-ended the ball away from Jones just outside the area. Jones brought his man down. Yellow card for the Middlesbrough number 5. Free kick for Southampton at 0-0.
Really good play from Finn Azaz, just outside the D in the centre, just gets the ball with his right foot, and the weight of pass is perfect for Fellows on that right hand side, because Fellows knows he's just going to toe the ball away from Jones, and Jones out of the whole of Middlesbrough's back 5, Dan, Jones has been the one who's looked a little bit unsettled. You know, he's given the ball away a couple of times.
He was a Southampton youth player. He never played here, never made an appearance here, but he's got a connection with the club as Alfie Jones. Played for Hull before his move to Middlesbrough in July. But yeah, he's been the one player at the back for Middlesbrough who's looked a little out of sorts, and he's conceded this free kick. And Ryan Manning, this has got his name written all over it. It's near the right-hand corner of the Middlesbrough penalty area. Favours a left-footed strike on goal. There's a 4-man Middlesbrough wall about level with the penalty spot. Armstrong's out there maybe wanting to take it as well, but Ryan Manning with the left foot is favourite to strike this goalwards.
Dan, I don't think there's enough in the wall. There's only 3 in the wall.
Armstrong runs over it. Manning will take it left-footed, and it's dragged well wide in the end. And the goalkeeper, Sol Bryn, had eyes on it, knew it was nowhere between his posts, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. Heart of Midlothian 1, Falkirk 0 in Scotland this afternoon. Hearts level with Celtic. At the start of the day, Celtic are at home to Hibernian today. Rare that they're at home on a Saturday afternoon at Celtic Park. Chelsea lead Brighton and Hove Albion by a goal to 0. Enzo Fernandez for injury-stricken Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Remember, they're going around the grounds on TalkSport with goals as they go in. But here, on your home of the EFL TalkSport 2, I'll keep you in touch with the scores elsewhere, but our concentration is on what's happening in front of us on this pitch, where Southampton and Middlesbrough still locked at 0-0. Here's Shay Charles. Good ball poked forward to Stewart, but Stewart took a heavy touch, trying to keep it away from the attentions of Aidan Morris and just put it straight out of play. But Will Still would be encouraged at 0-0, wouldn't he, Perry Groves?
Still 0-0.
Yeah.
For Still very much
0-0.
He will be. That's all I'm looking for Southampton. I'd just like to see a bit more threat in behind. Obviously, when they're in possession, they're playing sort of free up front with Fellows that comes and joins in on the right-hand side.
Well, here's Callum Britton down the right-hand side for Middlesbrough. Gets the better of Manning, does it? No, just lost out. Actually clashed with Manning. Just gone face down into the turf. Wasn't really a foul from Ryan Manning, just a clash of bodies. And down went the former Blackburn man. And he's just rolling onto his back. I think he might have got caught in the face there accidentally. but it's been given as a goal kick, and the referee has allowed the Middlesbrough physios to come on and treat the right back. As that has happened, Ollie McBurney has put Hull City ahead at beleaguered Watford. No winning for Watford. Page in the Potso family? Never know.
No, it's a club at Watford, you know, that they don't make rash decisions.
Okay.
It's all...
Thanks for clearing that up.
It's all very structured at Watford. They give managers a chance to breathe.
Of course they do. And Bournemouth have gone 1-0 up at Leeds in the Premier League. Antoine Semenyo making it Leeds 0, Bournemouth 1. So there's goals in all 4 of the 3 o'clock Premier League kickoffs. Chelsea leading Brighton, Palace leading the leaders Liverpool, Manchester City with an own goal lead Burnley, and you just heard Bournemouth in front at Ellen Road. In the Championship, the games with goals, well, there's not many in the Championship actually at the moment, none here. The only goals we have are Ipswich's lead against Portsmouth, Jayden Philogene, and that Ollie McBurney goal I just told you about, where Hull lead at Watford. Otherwise, no goals to speak of in the 3 o'clocks in the Championship. Not many in League One either. Lincoln leading at Peterborough, Stockport 1-up against Reading, and Cardiff 1-0 up against Wigan. Truro City lead Morecambe by a 0 in the National League, and as I speak, a goal goes in the Championship. It's at the Bet365 as Stoke trail to Norwich City. Jovan Makama puts Norwich in front. They've lost 3 out of their last 5, the Canaries, but they lead in the Potteries.
Are they the typical home and away team, Norwich? They've lost all 3 at home and unbeaten away.
Yeah. And they're getting regular, as usual, big crowds at Carrow Road, and it's just not happening for them. Kilmarnock lead at Dundee United in the Scottish Premiership as well. Bruce Anderson for Killy. Back underway with Callum Britton now back on the field as well. 0-0, and Southampton have the ball left-hand side of the area. Handball against Finn Azaz as he tried to almost flick it accidentally past Luke Ayling. Luke Ayling put his hand straight up, wanting the decision going his way, and Farah Halam, the referee, right on the spot.
It was actually unlucky, to be fair, because again it's just pinged in from Ryan Manning into Armstrong. Great little first touch from Armstrong, first time layoff to Azaz, and Azaz is just trying to cut himself back inside Ayling as the ball just flicked off his arm. Quite right, the referee, Farah Halam. Johnny on the spot again, gives the right decision.
All I can think is the Fast Show now. Farah Halam, Chris Waddle. You thought about the connection with Sven-Göran Eriksson that early, but let's not go into that.
No, exactly, yeah, because TalkSport lawyers ain't got that amount of money, don't they?
No. Exeter 0, Huddersfield Town 1 in League One. No one in 3 for the Terriers, but Leo Castledine, who I think is on loan from Chelsea, has put Huddersfield in front at St James Park. Now, tomorrow on TalkSport 2, we're bringing you a whole stack of NFL live in Dublin. For the very first time, Croke Park hosts NFL action. Minnesota Vikings, Pittsburgh Steelers. Our coverage starts at 2 p.m. here on TalkSport 2, straight after our lunchtime commentary from the WSL, Liverpool against Manchester United. Then we've got NFL Live going around the grounds from 6 p.m. kickoffs in the NFL before we bring you Jacksonville Jaguars at the San Francisco 49ers from 9 p.m. and then the wee small hours of Monday morning, Green Bay Packers, Dallas Cowboys. Here at St Mary's Stadium, it is half an hour played on TalkSport 2. Southampton 0, Middlesbrough 0. Fleetwood go 1-1 with Colchester. Ethan Ennis equalises for Fleetwood.
Offside.
I knew you'd say that. Ronnie Edwards plays it out to the right-hand side, and Tom Fellows weaves his way in field for Southampton. Now Shea Charles toe pokes the ball back to Quashon halfway under pressure from Whittaker. Charles again, keeps the ball neatly away from Strelec in a very tight area. Did well there, Shea Charles. Given back to Ronnie Edwards on halfway. Quite patient from Southampton at this point, but as Perry Groves has been saying, he wants to see the Saints get in behind on the flanks, left or right.
Yeah, what you have to do, obviously, because Ross Stewart is playing up front, obviously he doesn't want to go in behind, so then you've got to make sure it's either Armstrong or Fellows. They have to make those runs in behind, because at the moment Southampton kept possession, but it's all lateral. It's in front of Middlesbrough's back 5.
Fellows trying to wriggle his way clear of Hackney. Still got it, Tom Fellows. Now he's bursting down the right-hand side. Tries to put the cross in. Comes off the backside of Matt Targett. Poor clearance from Middlesbrough. Now Azaz pokes it into the area. Might drop for Armstrong at the edge of the box, and he drives it straight at Edmondson in the Middlesbrough back line, and then it's out of play. Corner given. The last touch came off Tommy Conway, and Southampton have their first corner of the game at the Chapel End to our left. 0-0.
Yeah, Adam Armstrong does really well, just coming in the edge of the 18-yard box, because Fellows has looked quite lively on that right-hand side. Just cutting inside, it comes to Armstrong, he gets his shot away. To be fair, it's really good defending from Edmondson. Just make sure that he puts his body in front of the ball. Corner for Southampton on their right-hand side.
Short corner taken for Tom Fellows, who's got Conway facing him up, just dips his shoulder, goes for the byline, and it's out of play for another corner in quick succession. 2-0 to Swindon against Bromley. Aaron Drinnant scores again for Swindon Town. That's his 8th of the season for the Robins. And Plymouth lead at Burton Albion in League One. Laurent Tolai there, transfer winner capture from Port Vale. They've won 4 out their last 5. Plymouth definitely recovering under Tom Cleverley after what was a shaky start to the season. And Sheffield Wednesday lead QPR by a 1-0. Dominic Iorfa, who's been playing really well for me at centre-half in these extreme times for Sheffield Wednesday, he gives them the lead at Hillsborough. Corner to Southampton in front of the Middlesbrough fans in that corner where the Chapel End meets the Kingsland stand. It's worked back to Ryan Manning. Got space 30 yards out. Drives it goalwards. It's blocked by a crowd of players. Comes out to the edge of the area and it's blasted over the bar by Finn Azaz, the former Middlesbrough player, who puts his hands over his face. He just couldn't keep it down as it dropped for him 12 yards from goal. Goal kick to Middlesbrough. Stays 0-0 on TalkSport 2.
Dance, that should be finish Azaz, because he should be finishing in that. Really good play from Southampton, just mixing it up from their right hand side with the corner, then just comes back to Ryan Manning. He gets his shot in, blocked by Emerson, comes to Azaz, and he's tried to side foot it, Dance, and be too clever. What he's got to do as it bounces up, he's just got to put his foot through it, just put his laces through it and go for power. He's tried to go for technique, and his technique was really poor, and just smashed it over the crossbar.
Had just the one season at Middlesbrough. Finn Azaz made a whole host of appearances though. He made 68 appearances and scored 17 goals across the competitions for the Boro. But felt he needed a new challenge, and that's where Southampton came in with their bid in the summer. £12 million it cost them to bring him here. Charlton lead Blackburn by 1-0 in the Championship. Macaulay Gillespie up from the back to give the Addicts the lead.
Did you say Azaz played 68 games in one season?
Yeah, here's Tommy Conway inside the area trying to get a shot away, blocked by Edwards. Conway again on the follow-up from a very tight angle, fires it straight into the side netting at the far end. The defending of Southampton applauded by their manager Will Still, and a thumbs up for Ronnie Edwards. Ends up being merely a goal kick for the hosts. We've played 34 minutes on TalkSport 2. It's still 0-0.
Good play from Strelec, just picking the ball up outside the 18-yard box, just rolls it into Conway. Conway comes onto his left foot, and I think at first he thought about checking back inside, gets his shot away. Really good defending from Ronnie Edwards, just making sure that he slides in, again puts his body on the line, bounce back off of Conway, goes out for a goal kick for Southampton.
Which is fired straight out of play by Alex McCarthy, so Middlesbrough will get a throw.
You say 68 games he played in like a season, right? Do you think he was tired?
You'd have to ask him.
Tired. Don't buy into the tired stuff, trust me.
Perry Groves.
Players can be tired when they're 33, 34, when they've finished their careers, Dance. You're chasing a pig's bladder full of air around twice a week.
Couple of goals in the National League to tell you about. Boston lead at Sutton by 0-0, and Yeovil 1-0 up on Altrincham. Adam Armstrong getting away down the left-hand side and forces a corner as he really forced George Edmondson to trap back at full tilt and just toe-poke the ball over the dead ball line. So another corner for Southampton, this time on this near side where the Itchin stand that we're sat in meets the Chapel End. 0-0.
It was really good play actually from Adam Armstrong. You can tell like he's really experienced. He had no chance of getting the ball, and he thought, right, if I try and play the ball, it's going to go out for a goal kick. So he just made sure that he leant in with his right shoulder because Edmondson was coming across. He knocked on Edmondson off balance. That meant that he kicked the ball out with his left foot for a corner of Southampton on their left-hand side.
10 to half-time. Manning with the corner, out swinger, well caught by Sol Bryn on his 6-yard line, and he bowls it out immediately for Strelec, and there's a counter-attack on for Middlesbrough. Strelec, everything to his left in terms of teammates, and he got crowded out in the end as Southampton got men behind the ball and got it clear, but Strelec showed good pace to get away into the Southampton half, but just couldn't find a teammate at the vital moment. But good quick feet from Aidan Morris finds Whittaker. Strelec again down the right-hand side of the box rather, tries to clip a ball into the Southampton area. It's only half cleared by the Saints, and then a foul on Shea Charles by Aidan Morris, and that will give Southampton the time to get the ball downfield as Chesterfield take the lead against Newport in League 2. Will Grigg for the Spyrites, still 0-0 here on TalkSport 2.
Dan said there's something there that Will Steele, the Southampton manager, will be delighted with. Obviously, Ryan Manning takes a call from the left. It's plucked out the air by Bryn. He rolls it straight out to Strelec, who said he was attacking with intent. Southampton like the Red Arrows there by the way they got back, Dance, their recovery runs, because within probably 3 or 4 seconds, Wood, Kwasi and Charles, as you said, they were around him like a rash, weren't they? And they all like just completely outnumbered him, managed to nick the ball off him. That wasn't happening in the first 4 or 5 games of the season for Southampton, where they wasn't reacting that quickly to the defensive situations.
0-0 here at St Mary's as Yander makes a run down the inside right channel, but Alfie Jones rolls it back to the Middlesbrough keeper Sol Bryn, who's getting plenty of game time at the minute, with Seni Dieng, the number 1 at Middlesbrough, injured at the moment. Barrow lead at Crawley in League 2. Josh Gordon for Barrow, who got their first win in 5 games last time out, and they lead down there in Sussex. Here's Ross Stewart working really hard and tenaciously, but then equally strong is Aidan Morris for Middlesbrough to keep the ball away from Azaz. That's delighted the Middlesbrough fans in the far side of the field from us. Free kick as well given for a foul by Armstrong on Whittaker as Leeds United equalise against Bournemouth. That's now 1-1 at Ellen Road. Joe Roden up from the back to equalise for the Lily Whites.
It's a good pace about the game, Dance, isn't it? There's enough jeopardy in it. You know, both teams are good in possession from their defensive third into the middle third. It's just find that little bit of quality in the final third, you know, the right cross or the right pass. But both teams have got attacking intent.
Ayling's free kick downfield, kept in play well by Britton on this near side, the Middlesbrough right, but then Southampton won it back and then gave it away almost as soon as they won it back. Now Hackney's been dispossessed, and then Azaz is fouled by the aforementioned Hackney. Free kick to Southampton. They want to take it quickly, but the referee wants a quiet word in Hayden Hackney's ear before anything else can happen. 0-0.
Taxi for Hackney, because he's just been completely done there, to be fair. And quite rightly, the referee, Farrell Alam, again on the spot, just says it's a foul. That's all it is. Get up, play on.
0-0. Grimsby equalise against Cheltenham at Blundell Park. Jamie Walker makes it Grimsby 1, Cheltenham 1. Southampton in possession just outside their own penalty area, with Finn Azaz coming deep to receive possession against his former club. Now it's Ryan Manning, who just tickles it down this left-hand side for Adam Armstrong. But Armstrong is set upon by Aidan Morris, who I've really been impressed with his tenacity in the centre of the Middlesbrough midfield. He doesn't have to work hard for his team, Perry Groves.
Yeah, him and Hackney have got a really good understanding. Obviously, they're the two at the base of the midfield for Middlesbrough. If Morris goes and puts his foot in and tracks down, Hackney's probably only about 15 yards away from him. Both want to play out from the back. You see Morris just dropping a little bit deeper in between the centre halves just to try and get Middlesbrough ticking over. I was really impressed with Strelec in that first 15-20 minutes when he was getting him. He hasn't done it since, Dance. He hasn't actually spun and tried to get in the channels. So if you're Rob Edwards, you'd be telling him to do exactly that, because he was the one who was stretching him.
0-0 here. Manchester City 1, Burnley 1 in the Premier League. Jayden Anthony has equalised for the Clarets at the Etihad. Crystal Palace still leading Liverpool by 1-0. Chelsea still leading Brighton by 1-0. And as you just heard, Leeds 1, Bournemouth 1. Those are the Premier League 3 o'clock latest scores for you. Still 0-0 in the Championship, and big applause for Joshua Kwasi's work there to stop Middlesbrough getting away and win a throw for his team. As I mentioned, he was one of the players, Joshua Kwasi, that was brought in for the midweek cup tie at Liverpool, Kwasi. 3 million quid from the Hoffenheim Academy. Looks quite solid as part of that centre-half 2 with Nathan Wood. So the previous lineup from the last game, which was Jack Stevens and Taylor Harwood-Bellis, both been benched after their performance last week against Hull. Luton Town, Rob Edwards' old side, they lead Doncaster by a goal to nil. Cal Naismith for Luton, and MK Dons now 2 up at Shrewsbury. Will Collar with the second. Middlesbrough clear their lines from their own penalty area. Ayling finds Callum Britton, set upon by Ryan Manning, and he was just caught on the turn by Ryan Manning as he tried to swivel there, Callum Britton, and wins a free kick for Middlesbrough. Stays 0-0 as we approach half-time.
Just had a look at Will Steele, the Southampton manager, just peeled away in frustrations because Southampton had the full court press on Dance. They were pressing man for man, and I think Will Steele thought that he had them, because when it came to Britton's facing his own goal, Manning goes to close him down. Doesn't need to foul. All he's got to do is just go what they call touch tight and make Britton make a decision. He gives the foul away. So you just said Will Steele was a little bit frustrated, delighted with his team's closing down, but you don't need to make that foul.
And he'd be really happy initially with the fact that when Middlesbrough just had that free kick, they almost gave the ball away instantly to Southampton, but Southampton made a bit of a Horlicks of it, and it ends up being a Middlesbrough throw on this near side, which Ayling takes, looking for Whittaker, but Southampton won it back, kept in play on this near side by Charles, very tight to this near touchline, 3 players around him, Whittaker's one of them, and he takes it off his toe. Ipswich 2, Portsmouth 0. George Hurst gets Ipswich second of the afternoon as they look for their second league win of the season, and it's 1-1 in the Madrid derby if you're interested in such things. Atletico 1, Real Madrid 1, Mbappe with the equaliser. The St Mirren lead Dundee in the Scottish Premiership. Hearts 2-0 upon Falkirk elsewhere in the Scottish top flight. Really good start to the season for Heart of Midlothian. Lawrence Shanklin, the Scottish international, getting that second goal for the Jam Tarts. Now then, Hayden Hackney trying to burst away from Nathan Wood, goes down, and nothing given by the referee. Sees that of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, and no real complaints from Hayden Hackney that Nathan Wood got the better of him there. 0-0.
I think what it was, Hayden Hackney was just trying to get away from Nathan Wood, and you said there he was just a bit too strong in his upper body strength, because if he gets a little touch on the ball, Dance, across him and he's away, and Nathan Wood then has a decision to make. But again, to be fair to the referee, Fari Alam, he's right on the spot, about 6-7 yards away. He said, no, not enough in there, play on.
Out to the right-hand side it goes from Casper Yander to Tom Fellows for Southampton. Approaching the final minute of normal time in this first half, 0-0. Azaz leaves it for Fellows, tucks it down the right-hand side of the box for Azaz, turns it across the face of goal, and Edmondson has to put it behind for Middlesbrough, so it's a corner to Southampton, away to our left at the chapel end, 0-0.
Yeah, good link-up play down their right-hand side, Target just giving the ball away, then it comes and breaks for Fellows on that right-hand side, just a little give and go with Azaz, gets to the byline, really good defensive play from Edmondson, just making sure that he's blocked the near post off. Corner for Southampton over on their right hand side,
right in front of those Middlesbrough fans who are in that Kingsland Chapel corner. About 2,500 have been made all the trip down from Teesside today, but they look on as Ryan Manning spots down the corner over on the far side of the field. Be a left-footed in-swinger then from Manning. A couple of Southampton players in the 6-yard box, Azaz and Armstrong. In it comes from Manning, swirled into the near post, headed up and out by Edmondson. It may work its way back out to Manning on that right hand side. He doesn't hit it in with a cross first time as we go into 2 minutes of added time. Ball played into the box, a touch from Azaz, spins away and then loses possession at a vital moment, and suddenly Middlesbrough are bringing the ball away up to the halfway line with Tommy Conway. We're into those 2 minutes of minimum added time, and Middlesbrough have just decided to keep the ball in their own half and knock it down to this right-hand side. Good ball to find Morgan Whittaker. Tucks it in field for Aidan Morris, the American midfielder. He spots the run of Matt Target, peels away left-hand side, tried to volley it across the face of goal, but just lost his footing and didn't have his balance right, and it ends up being a Southampton goal kick, 0-0.
Well, Morris dancing through that midfield, just making sure he gets it onto his right foot. That was the first time that Matt Target had actually got himself away from Tom Fellows over on Middlesbrough's left-hand side, but he's just overstretching couldn't quite get the cross back across 6-yard box. Just a little example there, Dance, of Southampton's good build-up play. You had little interactive play with Manning to Armstrong and then to Azaz, and then Azaz gets the ball stuck under his feet on the edge of the 18-yard box and again can't make the right decision.
Good touch from Azaz there though in midfield, and Armstrong's away, left-hand side of the area, tries to pull it back for Yander, turned behind by Ayling this time for a late first half corner for Southampton, desperate to break the deadlock ahead of the half-time whistle. 0-0.
Again, good play from Azaz, just releasing Armstrong. I think he's just trying to cut the ball back to the edge of the 18-yard box, where I think maybe he should just roll it across the 6-yard box.
I think he knew that Yander was pretty much the only player he had up with him.
On the edge of the 18-yard box, he's trying to cut it back. Corner for Southampton on their left-hand side. This is probably the last chance and the last play of the game of this first half.
So an outswinger to come from the left foot of Ryan Manning, where the chapel end meets the itching stand that we're sat in. This is down to our left-hand side as we look. Manning swirls it deep to the far post. Kwasi with a header, heads it straight into the turf and over. He rose magnificently at the far stick, but headed it straight down and wide. And that is the last action of the first half. And Joshua Kwasi is only now picking himself up to his feet, disgusted with himself that he didn't make more of a brilliant chance to give Southampton the lead right on the whistle. It's been a very competitive first half. The leaders, Middlesbrough, have had Southampton worried at times, but I can't think of a major save that Alex McCarthy's had to make. Finn Azaz had a great chance to put Southampton ahead when the ball ricocheted to him inside the box against his former club, but he could only lift a tame shot over the crossbar. No goals at half-time, Perry Groves. What have you made of that 45 minutes at St Mary's here?
If you looked at the balance of play, it's probably been fairly even in possession, but as you said there, Dan, Southampton have had the best chances, because Azaz, worst ways out, should be hitting the target where the ball just sits up for a volley for him for about 12 yards. He tries to side foot it with his inset with his right foot instead of putting his laces through it, just hits it over the crossbar. And the best chance of the half just come there to Kwasi, because brilliant corner from Ryan Manning, outswing his left foot. It's a mismatch because Kwasi is up against Hackney and he rose like a salmon, Dance, at the far post. Unfortunately, in the end, it was like a tin of salmon, because what he should be doing is he should be actually heading it on target, and he's actually headed it down onto the ground and the ball's bounced over the crossbar. So he should be scoring. I think we'll still be delighted with his Southampton team, the way they've played. There's been a really good little battle on Middlesbrough's left-hand side between Targett and Fellows. Fellows who then goes back into like a back five when Middlesbrough are on the ball. So there's been enough in the game, and I've been really impressed with Shay Charles Dance in the midfield area for Southampton. He looks very composed, isn't he? He's very graceful on the ball, got really good technique. So there's been a lot of jeopardy in the game. Both teams, to be fair to Middlesbrough, they're not come and just sat back and say, we're going to sit deep, we're going to try and attack you. Their only chance was a free kick from Targett where he's hit the post and the ball just rebounded straight back out again. So it's been an intriguing game.
Yeah, that's the closest we've come to a goal, when that Matt Targett free kick sent him from the left-hand side round the wall, but smacked against the foot of the post. Alex McCarthy may have had it covered. That's as close as Middlesbrough came. Do they look like championship leaders to you, Terry?
They look very settled and composed in their system, Dance. I think the thing that Rob Edwards will probably disappointed, the first 15-20 minutes, they were a threat going forward, because Trelech was actually stretching the Southampton back four or back five, obviously when Fellows drops in. He did it about 3 or 4 times and he got himself in behind Wood, and then he stopped doing it. And because he stopped doing it, that meant that Whittaker and Conway, who drop into the 2-10 positions, they couldn't get themselves on the ball. So apart from the first 20 minutes where they were a threat going forward, they weren't in that sort of last 25. So I think Rob Edwards will want to change that around a little bit. But from Will Steele's point of view, the Southampton manager, I think he'll be delighted, obviously, with the the changes that he's made. The back centre half pairing of Wood and Kwasi, they look very comfortable. Kwasi especially, he's looked very athletic. He's very strong when he's duelling with his 1v1s. Yeah, so there's enough, as I said before, there is enough to keep you on the edge of your seat in this game. It could be going either way. Well,
it is goalless at half-time. Very shortly we'll check in with Jeff Peters, who will be updating you on TalkSport on the late game in the Premier League between Nottingham Forest and Sunderland. I'll also give you all the half-time scores around the country, but at the break here on the South Coast, it is Southampton 0, Middlesbrough 0.
Join the Football Collective.
A cool, clinical finish.
EFL Live on TalkSport 2.
The Ryder Cup, Super League and much more besides. NFL, that of course takes place tomorrow at Croke Park in Dublin. You got that live on TalkSport 2. So Jess Stelling and Ali McCoist from 6 a.m. Monday morning will have it all covered. Or if you prefer waking up to some tunes, then Chris Evans has the Virgin Breakfast Show every morning from 6:30. TalkSport app is your friend. That's your one-stop shop for all our stations, so you can swipe between TalkSport, TalkSport 2, Times Radio, and the Virgin group of stations to suit your listening needs. Just download it from your favourite app store now, the TalkSport app. It's new and improved as well. Lots more video to go with the audio and the podcasts that we bring you on the app. No changes at the break from either Will Still or Rob Edwards. I'll run you through the lineups in a minute, but Southampton in their red and white stripes with white socks and black shorts. They're going to be kicking towards the Northam end to our right in the second half. Middlesbrough in their change strip of the blue and black dark striped shirts with black shorts and socks. They're going to be heading for the Chapel end, and it's the Chapel corner with the Kingsland stand, which is where the travelling Middlesbrough support will be roaring their team on as we sit, Perry Groves and myself, Ian Danter, at the back of the Itchin stand here at the home of Southampton. And straight away the Saints get on the front foot in the second half from the kickoff. Shay Charles, who you heard Perry say had a very solid and impressive looking first half in the Southampton midfield. Finn Azaz tucks it down the left hand side for Adam Armstrong, tries to play an early cross in, and it's an early corner because it came out of George Edmondson. So Southampton with the wind in their sails early in this second half, 0-0.
Yeah, there's that link-up play again on the left-hand side from Ryan Manning into Armstrong and then into Azaz. Great little layoff back to Armstrong, just trying to get his cross. Edmondson does really well, just comes out and blocks Armstrong off. Corner for Southampton over on the left-hand side,
where the Northam end meets the Kingsland, right over on the far side of the field from our commentary position. Manning swirls it in, headed out by Alfie Jones. It's a good strong header clear from the Middlesbrough number 5, but Southampton will have it back with Manning. Tucks the ball in field along the deck to Armstrong, 20 yards out, turns neatly, tries to get a shot away from the left-hand corner of the box, but snatches at it, and it goes behind for a goal kick. So here are the lineups for Southampton. McCarthy the keeper, then Edwards, Wood, Kwashi and Manning, Yanda and Charles holding, then Fellows, Azaz and Armstrong behind Stewart. For Middlesbrough, Bryn the keeper, 3 at the back, Ayling, Edmondson and Jones, then Britton, Morris, Hackney and Target, Whittaker and Conway in support of Strelic in attack. And Kwashi, who had that great headed chance that he couldn't take right at the end of the first half, guides the ball back to Alex McCarthy. Kwashi again gives it back to the man wearing the number 1 jersey.
I know it sounds silly, but with the header, it's like he had too much time, didn't he? Because he got himself well above Hackney and he's had too much time to think about it, and so he didn't actually just redirect the header on target, head it into the ground and over the crossbar.
Southampton in possession. Edwards keeps it away from Strelic on halfway and tucks it infield for Kwashi. Short pass into the feet of Armstrong, who came short to the halfway line, looking for an option. Kwashi's offering himself just to the left-hand side as he moves into the Middlesbrough half of the field. Just gets away from Whittaker for a moment, showing good strength the centre half. And then Armstrong knocks it back to Shay Charles on halfway. Here is Nathan Wood firing into the feet of the long-haired Ronnie Edwards. Back for Wood once again and Kwashi.
You just look at it, Middlesbrough dance on that position. They go into like a 5-4-1 formation, and this particular time they've left Conway up front, and then Strelic has gone onto that right hand side to make the midfield 4.
7 goals away that Middlesbrough have scored. Only Bristol City have a better record with 8. Got some defending to do here though, as Ayling has to slide in very neatly, in fact, Luke Ayling, to keep the ball away from Adam Armstrong. Fired up to halfway. Southampton did try and intercept, but it will still roll through to Morgan Whittaker. Lovely little pirouette inside the centre circle, and then Kwashi comes across and just dispossesses him like taking candy from a baby. Very easily done there by Joshua Kwashi.
It's just like Whittaker was a fly, and he's not the smallest, is he, Whittaker? Was he about like 6 foot? And he just like squatting away like a fly, bit of a nuisance. He's another one who's been very impressive, Kwashi, Dance, isn't he? So when the ball goes in, if it's Strelec drops short or Conway drops short, he follows them all the way in.
He's just moving a little awkwardly though, Kwashi, on halfway. I'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, the ball's with the other Southampton centre half, Nathan Wood, gives it to Kwashi, still inside his own half of the field, looks up, wants an option. Stewart was just starting to make a dart through the middle. Apologetic hand from Kwashi that he didn't try and hit it over the top to try and find him. 2-2 in the Madrid derby. Alexander Sorloth, once of Crystal Palace, equalises for Atletico in the Wanda Metropolitano. Yeah, I said that Boro have scored 7 goals away. They've only conceded 4 home and away all season, Middlesbrough. That's level with Stoke City, or at least it was before today, until Stoke conceded at home to Norwich. Free kick as a foul is done by, I think that was Hayden Hackney, who's earned himself a yellow card, or was it Conway? One of the two. In fact, it was Conway, forgive me, who got the yellow card for clattering into a challenge on Tom Fellows, who's been in the wars pretty much all game.
Yeah, he's looked really lively, to be fair, doesn't he? Fellows on Southampton's right-hand side, just cutting inside there onto his left foot. It's just lazy from Conway, because Fellows are getting away from him, and he just like tripped him up. Give away a cheap, lazy free kick. And Faria Alam, the referee, again quite rightly says, you can go in my little notebook for that one.
So a free kick for Ryan Manning. This one's nowhere near the penalty area. It's only just over the halfway line to the right of the centre circle. Left-footed delivery, looking for red and white shirts at the edge of the area. Ayling's there to head clear. Drops at the edge of the box for Azaz, who tried to ambitiously volley it goalwards, dropping out the sky. Snatched at it, and it went comfortably wide of the post. And Middlesbrough have already got the ball downfield, down the right-hand side with Luke Ayling, looking to release Strelec, who's trying to outpace Kwashi down the right-hand side. Went down, Kwashi pushed him, says the referee. Free kick near the right-hand corner of the box for Middlesbrough as they attack the Chapel End, 0-0.
Do you know what, Dance? Faria Alam, the referee, has been so good. He's just booked Strelec because he got put down by Kwashi from the foul. What does Strelec do when he's on the floor, gets imaginary yellow card out?
He does.
He's like, don't tell me what I should and shouldn't be doing. All it is a foul. It's a great run from Strelec. Again, he's just trying to get into that right-hand channel. It's just a nudge in his back from Kwashi with his shoulder, and it is a foul. It isn't a booking, and quite rightly, Strelec gets booked for asking the referee to book Kwashi.
So a free kick after that yellow card for the player that was fouled. Middlesbrough have a chance to swing the ball into the Southampton box. There's a couple of players standing over the free kick. It's near the right-hand corner of the penalty area. Targett and Hackney are the 2 players standing over it. Southampton are defending just in front of the penalty spot, about 13 yards from goal. And Whittaker and Jones have pulled away to the far post for Middlesbrough. In it comes from Targett. Good punch cleared by McCarthy. Punched it straight into the arms of a Middlesbrough player and then fired well wide by Conway as he dragged the ball out to a tight angle right-hand side of the area. It was a good punch from Alex McCarthy. I suppose he could have caught it, Perry Groves, but he punched it almost straight to a Middlesbrough player. That could have been much more dangerous if Luke Ayling had been able to control that. 0-0.
Yeah, it's a brilliant delivery from Matt Targett from that inside right position, in swing with his left foot. He said there, I thought at first it was good goalkeeping from McCarthy because he's punched it away, but when you look at a different angle, it's going straight to him. As you said, if he has like soft hands and just gets it into the palm of his hands, he catches it. In the end, it comes out to Conway. He just takes a first-time shot, smashes it over the crossbar.
Southampton 0, Middlesbrough 0 on TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL. Early today, Coventry City swept Birmingham City aside in the derby that we brought you at lunchtime. 3-0 the final score. Coventry's unbeaten run continues. Middlesbrough also unbeaten, and 0-0 here in possession down the right-hand side with Morgan Whittaker. It's worked all the way back by Callum Britton to Ayling. QPR equalise at Sheffield Wednesday. A penalty from Nicholas Madsen makes it 1-1 at Hillsborough in the Championship. Here's Morgan Whittaker, centre of the Southampton half, trying to thread it through to Britton at the right-hand corner of the box, but it was intercepted. The ball downfield, though, won't find a red and white striped shirt. Middlesbrough have it again with Morris. Morris out to Whittaker, right-hand side. Middlesbrough trying to get a spell of pressure going here. It's out on the right-hand side with Callum Britton. Tucks it in field. Whittaker with an ambitious effort. I think he was trying a shot from goal from fully 30 yards out. And then a poor touch from Stewart allows Middlesbrough to get it back again. They're trying to hem Southampton in their own half of the field, 0-0.
Yeah, just come out a little bit more intent this second half. They're playing 10 yards further up the pitch, condensing it when Southampton are in possession. And they've had a little bit of possession themselves, Middlesbrough.
Oh, and Adam Armstrong goes in heavy on Aidan Morris, and he's the latest player to incur the wrath of the referee. Adam Armstrong, yellow card for him for that challenge on Aidan Morris. Didn't need to make it. He was nowhere near the ball, as Morris had sent it backwards of square long before Armstrong got there. 9 minutes gone in the second half. Still goalless here. Wonder who's going to blink first from the bench in terms of changes. All sorts of players warming up down beneath us in both Middlesbrough and Southampton colours.
Well, from the home team's point of view, obviously Will Steele being a Southampton manager, he's got to be the one who's got to be thinking about making a change. You've got Cienza, who obviously missed the golden chance dance. He was up at Anfield.
Oh yeah.
When he missed the header, he had like his crash helmet on, didn't he? Where he should have
Toblerone head.
Exactly.
I think he
should have hit the target. You've got Brian Fraser who can come on and give you a little bit of industry out in the wide areas.
Stoke equalise against Norwich 1-1. Here come Middlesbrough. Conway touches it to the right hand side of the box. Britton heads it across the face of goal, headed out by Edwards in front of his goalkeeper. And Southampton smuggle it clear, but more encouragement for Middlesbrough, 0-0.
Southampton's trying to sit a bit deeper. Luke Ayling just putting it in to the channel and then coming back out to Conway. And I think Conway can just have a little bit again, maybe a little bit more composure. Just picks the wrong pass.
And Alfie Jones, I think, is that gone into the book for Middlesbrough. There was a yellow card issued there to a Boro player by the referee. It was Sorba Thomas that got that equaliser for Stoke, incidentally, 1-1 with Norwich. And in League One, Bradford lead Blackpool by a goal to nil. Josh Nerfield, Bradford, who beat Cardiff heavily last week, won 3 out their last 4 in the league, although they lost in the Carabao Cup in midweek, did the Bantams. 11 minutes gone, second half. Goalless, but you just sense that the tide is slightly turning in favour of the Championship leaders here, Middlesbrough. But it's still goalless. Conway goes down off the ball under a challenge from Nathan Wood. Referee waves play on. Conway gets back to his feet as Callum Britton has possession. Plays it backwards to square infield to Aidan Morris. Morris plays the ball into the feet of Whittaker. Strong challenge from Charles, wins it back for Southampton, but then Ross Stewart shows too much of that to a couple of Middlesbrough shirts. However, Middlesbrough give the possession up themselves, and away comes Southampton down this near side, the right, with Tom Fellows. Target tracking the run. Fellows, though, gets inside the area, right hand side, heavy touch allows Alfie Jones to get it half clear. Conway with a very intelligent pass across to Callum Britton. He spots Strelic making a run out to the right hand side, takes Kwashi with him, knocks it back in field for Ayling. Good football from Middlesbrough, still 0-0. Ayling looking for an option outside him is Callum Britton, couldn't find him. It might be a corner conceded by Southampton. No, that's good defending from Kwashi, preventing the corner, but his attempted clearance only finds the chest of Callum Britton, who's making strides down the Middlesbrough right once again as they attack the Chaplain. Keeps it in play, being forced back away from the penalty area by Kwashi. Now Hackney back out to Callum Britton. Hackney again, a couple of yards infield from the far touchline. Now Whittaker picks it up, plays it backwards to square to Aidan Morris in the centre of the Southampton half. Good possession this from the Championship leaders. Can they make it count and get something in on goal here? It's back out to Callum Britton on the far right hand side. Flicks it in field for Hackney, who just starts to go through the gears as he gets up to the edge of the area. Flicks it down the right hand side of the box. Whittaker pulls it back. Strelic on the turn, gets the shot away. It's deflected wide for a Middlesbrough corner. Away to our left hand side, 0-0.
Oh, Strelic, there needs to be better communication at near post. He's just taken off of Conway's toes. Brilliant play from Middlesbrough on their right hand side. They free Whittaker. He gets to the byline. He actually picks the right decision this time. I think he's actually trying to cut it back for Conway, and it should be a little over there if Conway's more dominant, Dance, and he actually screams straight, let it go. He gets a shot in first time. Strelic just controls with his right foot, swivels on his left foot. Southampton to get the block in. Corner for Middlesbrough over on their right-hand side.
And they are preparing to take a left-footed in-swinger. Matt Targett holds both arms aloft as he stands in front of the travelling support. Sends in the corner kick, left-footed into the near post. It's headed out by Wood inside the 6-yard box. That was dangerously swirled in by Middlesbrough, and Targett has it again as it's worked back out to that right-hand side. Right-footed ball in this time. Headed out once again for Southampton. This time by Ross Stewart, and now Adam Armstrong's on his bike. There's a counter-attack on. Shea Charles is up with him. Armstrong just holds the ball up for a second, brings it in field, and then he's dispossessed by George Edmondson, who was coming back to a defensive position, and the counter-attack for Southampton comes to nothing, and then Kwashi flattens Conway in the centre circle. Free kick to the Boro. 59 minutes gone on TalkSport 2 in the Championship. It's still Southampton 0, Middlesbrough 0, Perry Groves.
Yeah, Adam Armstrong just ran out of options there, Dance. He was the loneliness of a long-distance centre-forward, because he was picked up in the centre-forward position, and then before he knew it, there was 4 Middlesbrough players just crowding around him. He had no options, then just get knocked off the ball. Then Kwasi comes in as Middlesbrough try and hit on the counter-attack, just fouls Conway.
Well, I think if he'd looked up a little earlier, there was an option for him, because Shea Charles had made a brilliant run to try and keep up with play, but there were too many bodies in the way, I think, for Armstrong to see his teammate. Here's Hackney for Middlesbrough, finding Strelic offside at the edge of the area. Went for a 1-2, did Hayden Hackney with his teammate, but the flag had gone up. And there will be a change for Middlesbrough. Alan Brown, who made over 400 appearances in his time at Preston North End, is going to come on for Middlesbrough as their first change. I think Rob Edwards was thinking about whether to make it now or next. I think he wants to make it now, or at least when the ball next goes out of play. An hour gone at St Mary's on TalkSport 2, your home of the EFL. Long ball forward from Southampton from Manning, just floats over the head of Ross Stewart and goes back through to the Middlesbrough back line. Poor touch from Strelic on halfway. Southampton have it back. Adam Armstrong works it back to Manning just over the halfway line. Brown's going to be on shortly for Middlesbrough. We'll find out to whom in just a moment. Ball threaded through from Charles, looking for Stewart at the edge of the area. Middlesbrough repel it, but now it's out on the right-hand side with Tom Fellows up against Targett. Good cross from Fellows, drops to the far post. It's in! Adam Armstrong puts Southampton in front with a clinical volley finish. Takes a bow, and quite right too. That was superbly hit by Adam Armstrong from Fellows' cross. They got the width, they got the ball in, and they've got the fans chanting, because this could be Southampton's first league win since the opening weekend. Just over an hour gone. It's Adam Armstrong making it Southampton 1, Middlesbrough the leaders 0.
Oh, Armstrong, it's a wonderful world. Really good play from Fellows on the right-hand side. Goes on the outside of Targett, gets a little deflection as the ball just loops up. Armstrong's on the far post, Dance. As it drops over his shoulder, it's a perfectly timed left foot controlled volley. Just make sure that he doesn't actually swipe it, Dance. It's controlled, it's with his laces, and then he just puts it back across Bring, gives him absolutely no chance. That is a goal, Dance, of the top quality edition. Brilliant goal from Adam Armstrong. Really good play from Fellows on the right-hand side. And you have to say, Dance, that's come against the run of play, because Middlesbrough are just starting to exert a little bit of pressure. Brilliantly crafted goal from Southampton and expertly finished from Adam Armstrong.
No, he scored 24 goals in the Championship promotion season under Russell Martin. That was a really top draw, left-footed controlled finish from the Southampton number 9. 2 changes were made after that goal by Middlesbrough. Messrs Britton and Whittaker have gone off. Not only Alan Brown coming on, but also Sver Nipat, who's on loan from Manchester City. And straight away, Luke Ayling switched to right wing back with Britton having gone off, puts an early ball into the Southampton box, cleared away by Kwashi. Peterborough Lincoln 2, Tendai Darikwa with a second for Lincoln. Hearts 3-0 up on Falkirk, and Scunthorpe, unbeaten in the National League, are 2-0 up on Southend United at Roots Hall. Grimsby 3, Cheltenham 1 in League 2. And Carlisle 0, Rochdale 2 in that battle towards the top of the National League. Leeds United in front against Bournemouth as well. Sean Longstaff making it 2-1 to Leeds. Southampton lead here, and Yander is fouled and pushed over by Hayden Hackney. So the Saints get a free kick, and Leo Cienza is going to come on, the Brazilian, who looked very lively for me at Anfield, despite that glaring miss with a header in front of an open goal. And he's going to come on for Finn Azaz, who hasn't really fizzed in front of his old club, Middlesbrough. Still not quite there, Finn Azaz. He's trying to win the supporters round here, Perry Groves, in his early weeks as a Southampton player. And he's had to go off, and Cienza's on to replace him.
Yeah, he had that gilt-edged chance in the first half, dancing with his volley, which, you know, he should have hit the target. He blazed over the crossbar. It wasn't through lack of effort. You know, he's doing his defensive job, but he couldn't quite get the creativity he was looking for.
And so Azaz has gone off and been replaced, as I mentioned, by Leo Cienza, the Brazilian. Free kick for Southampton as Ross Stewart was brought down. This is about the sort of place 25 yards out where Matt Targett had the free kick from Middlesbrough at that end, at the Northam stand end in the first half, that he smacked against the post. But Adam Armstrong looks like he wants a bit more glory, because he fancies having a crack at goal from distance here. Manning is standing right next to the ball. Cienza has moved away. Just over 25 minutes to go on TalkSport 2. Now Manning's sort of placed the ball down a little bit more deliberately, so might even be a left-footed strike, although he's a very tight angle to the ball. Armstrong might leave it for Manning. Manning does take the free kick, smacks into Luke Ayling in the wall. Ayling's gone down holding his face, and then suddenly makes a miraculous recovery as the ball ends up in his keeper's arms. 1-0 Southampton.
It's amazing, that, isn't it? How you go in the goalkeeper's hands and you think, actually, I'm not concussed. I'm actually all right. I think he went through his own concussion protocols there. Did his one finger, two fingers. What's your name? Oh, my name's Luke Ayling. You're right, son. Carry on.
Now Cienza giving chase under pressure. Edmondson does well, actually. Just holds off the Southampton substitute and guides it back to Sol Bryn. So 65 minutes played. Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 0. The Championship leaders find themselves behind here, but they come forward with Nipat. He loses out to Shea Charles, who's putting a real shift in for Southampton today in that defensive midfield role. Gets it back from Ross Stewart, who does really well to keep the ball away from several Middlesbrough shirts. Now Ronnie Edwards piling forward from right back, coming forward for the hosts. Finds Tom Fellows, who supplied the cross for that opener. Approaching the right-hand corner of the penalty area. Lays it back 10 yards or so into midfield for Casper Yander. Now Wood finds Kwashi in the centre circle. Patience from Southampton as we approach the midway point of the second half on your home of the EFL. TalkSport 2. Bonus Premier League commentary coming tonight on TalkSport at 8 o'clock from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs against Wolves. Wolves yet to win in the top flight this season. Grimsby 5, Cheltenham 1. Charles Vernam gets Grimsby's 5th. And Fleetwood 2, Colchester 2. Couple of quick goals at Highbury as Jordan Davis equalises for Fleetwood. Now on halfway, Middlesbrough coming forward. They're a goal down here, the Boro. Ayling plays it infield. It drops for Aidan Morris. Ayling wants it again on the far side of the field. Everything to his left. Rolling his foot on the ball a couple of times, looking for an option. Morris does well, drops his shoulder to get away from Stewart, then Nipat out to the right hand side. A chance for Hackney maybe to measure a cross into the box. It's a very deep cross, kept in play on this near side by Matt Targett, the former Southampton player. Works it back for Alfie Jones. Now Alan Brown gets his first real involvement since coming on as a substitute for Middlesbrough. Back for Edmondson, just ahead of the centre circle. Oh, poor touch from Morris that allowed Yander to win it back, draw the foul and get Southampton a free kick. Midway through the second half, Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 0 on TalkSport 2. Here's Perry Groves.
Yeah, just a lack of concentration from Morris. Ball just went underneath his foot, enabled Yander to go and just nick it off him. Just looking at Middlesbrough dance, they've gone now into a 4-3-3 with midfield 3 of Brown, Morris and Hackney. Nipan on the right hand side, Conway on the left and Strelic up front. So when they've changed their shape, that might leave a little bit more space for Southampton they can exploit. And we mentioned about the battle, didn't we, on the right hand side for Southampton with Fellows and Target. Even though Fellows, I don't think he's going to get the assist, because it took a little deflection, didn't it, as he went to cross it.
Ayling puts an early ball into the box, headed away by Edwards. He had Conway behind him, but he always knew he was going to make that header, Ronnie Edwards. But the clearance only finds Brown. Was that going to deflect infield for a Middlesbrough shirt? Well, it is, because Aidan Morris took it off the toe of Charles. Great contest between those two. Edwards puts his foot in on his 18-yard line, and anywhere will do for Southampton. Ryan Fraser waiting to come on for Southampton, who lead by a goal to nil. Callie Sen also coming on, I think, and also Sonia Hansen for a double change for Middlesbrough. May even be a triple change for Middlesbrough, as Rob Edwards looks for the balance and blend that will get Middlesbrough back into this game. Their unbeaten record under threat here with just over 20 minutes to play. Here, though, is Nipa. Plays the ball into the area ahead of Strelec, too far ahead of Strelec, and McCarthy can just plunge on the ball at the edge of his 6-yard line. 1-0 to the Saints.
Yeah, just a misunderstanding there between Nipan and Strelec. Strelec won it to his feet. Nipan just put it into the space at near post. Little deflection. It's comfortably picked up by McCarthy.
Oh, what a run from Tom Fellows from inside his own half. Gets to about 25 yards out. Slips it left for Armstrong. Faced up by Ayling. Gets it on his right. Tries the shot. Comfortably blocked by Ayling. But it comes out to Manning, who beats Nipan to the ball. But the ball breaks on the left-hand side for Middlesbrough and Tommy Conway. Cleared by Target. Looking for Ayling on the far right-hand side, who'll get it after a very good little flick on from Nipan, the substitute. Now here's Ayling looking for Strelec in the middle. Great ball. Strelec takes a touch and it's too heavy and goes behind for a goal kick. What a ball from Luke Ayling, looking for his teammate, but Strelec's first touch let him down, and it ends up being a Southampton goal kick. 1-0 to the Saints.
There's the ball of the afternoon in that right side position from Luke Ayling, and just whipping it across the Southampton back four. Then Strelec just looking like, I think he should have shot dance as it comes to him. He should be hitting it with his left foot. He just took a Tonka touch, end up just pushing the ball out of play. That enables Southampton obviously to regroup and make their substitutions.
So Ryan Fraser is the man who's coming on to replace Tom Fellows, who, as Perry Grove said, probably won't get the assist for that goal. Meantime, Aidan Morris is coming off to allow Delano Bergsorg to come on. So 3 changes coming up for Middlesbrough. Bergsorg on for Morris. Sonja Hansen is coming on for Tommy Conway. And Callie Sen, who scored his first Middlesbrough goal to seal the points against West Brom last week, he's coming on to replace Strelec. And those players have now got, 20 minutes or so to try and get Middlesbrough back level. The clock in the stadium says 105 minutes. New.
That's flown by, that, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, I'm enjoying the game and all that, but not 105 minutes of it. No, we've got 20 minutes to go here. 1-0 to Southampton, bidding for what would just be their second win in the league this season. And it's the first time they've led at home this season as well. Throw into Middlesbrough in their right back position. So we'll see how their formation settles down now they've made this raft of changes, the Teessiders. Out it goes to Matt Target. Lovely ball downfield. Just breaks down the right side of the box. It won't sit down properly for Delano Bergsorg. And it's hit away by Ryan Manning downfield. Edmondson will tidy up at the back for Boro and give it back to his keeper, Sol Bryn. Alfie Jones, he knows he's got Adam Armstrong breathing down his neck. Does manage to get the ball back under possession, and now Hansen brings it away for Middlesbrough. Just runs into Ronnie Edwards, who comfortably wins the ball back. Now the industrious Ryan Fraser finds Cienza down this near side, and Callie Sen's first involvement in the game is to commit a foul on the Southampton substitute. 1-0 to the Saints, and they've corrected the clock. It says 72 minutes 50 seconds.
One job.
Oh, his elbow might have slipped, the old scoreboard operator. You just don't know, do you? Live Super League to come later here on TalkSport 2. Leeds against St Helens as the playoffs continue with the eliminator stage. Won't be long before it's the grand final at Old Trafford next month. Meantime, over on TalkSport at the same time, 8 o'clock tonight. Tottenham Hotspur against Wolverhampton Wanderers in our Premier League evening exclusive. But there's still plenty of time left to go here. 17 minutes of normal time to play. Can Southampton hang on and inflict the first defeat of the season on Middlesbrough? Middlesbrough were trailing into added time at Preston away and then got themselves a 93rd minute equaliser for 2-2. That, so far, the only points that Middlesbrough have dropped in the league all season. Diagonal ball from Nathan Wood downfield, but that's comfortable for Luke Ayling. Perry Groves.
Yeah, just looking at Middlesbrough dance, it's a brand new front three for them. Burzog on the right hand side, Cien through the middle, and Hansen on the left hand side. Just see if they can provide Middlesbrough with that little bit of electric pace up front.
Cienza wins the ball back and finds Adam Armstrong driving up to the area, tossed a step inside Edmondson. Brilliant challenge from George Edmondson. He was going to ground, stuck out a left foot and got a toe end on the ball to keep it away from Adam Armstrong. 1-0 Saints.
That's really good play from Cienza, picking the ball up in the inside right position, frees Armstrong, free as a bird on that left hand side. And you said there, Edmondson is just going over, he's 1v1, and that was a Inspector Gadget leg dance, wasn't it? He just got the extension out because as he was falling to his right hand side, he just managed to stretch his left leg out and get that little touch on it, because it looked like Armstrong was going to cut inside him and he'd been free on goal.
Still Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 0. Just over a quarter of an hour to play at St Mary's Stadium, live on your home of the EFL, TalkSport 2. Here is Bergsorg looking to feed Ayling down the right for Middlesbrough. The cross is very deep, goes beyond to the far post and kept in play by Hansen on this near side, the Middlesbrough left. Plays a little 1-2 with Nipan, comes further infield. Sonja Hansen takes over. Hayden Hackney in possession now. Out to the left and Nipan up against Cienza. Works the ball in field via Hackney to Alan Brown. Brown up to the edge of the area. Nipan finds Sonja Hansen, went to ground. No foul, says the referee. Hackney now bursting down the left-hand side of the box. Fraser has he's conceded a corner, should I say, to Middlesbrough at the Chapel End away to our left-hand side as the leaders are desperate for an equaliser. 1-0 Southampton.
I actually thought Ryan Fraser thought it was going off for a goal kick, because went shoulder to shoulder with Hansen. He just shouldered him away, let the ball run out of play. Didn't realise it had taken a little nick off one of his teammates. Corner for Middlesbrough on the left hand side,
which is going to be a right-footed in-swinger from Hackney to the far post. Oh, McCarthy came and missed it completely, but it didn't find a Middlesbrough head either, but it drifts out of play for a corner on the other side of the field in front of the Middlesbrough fans. McCarthy did his Superman impression but didn't get anywhere near the ball, Perry.
It looked like he'd been shot out of a cannon, didn't he? As you said, just launched himself up, got nowhere near the ball whatsoever, went over his left hand, and in the end, lucky enough for him, looked like Wood had just got a touch to it, goes for a corner for Middlesbrough on their right. Which
target swings into the near post. Strong header cleared by Charles, but only as far as Brown in the centre of the Southampton half for Middlesbrough. Sends it back out wide to target, swirls an early cross in, looking for Sen's header. Great defensive work from Ronnie Edwards. Middlesbrough trying to get hold of the second ball, but Edwards is there again to just hoof it downfield. But an important header from the youngster, keeping it away from Callie Sen, who was lurking, because it was a lovely swirl cross from Matt Target. Now, Ayling looking for the run of Sen in the area, down the right-hand side of the box, gets the shot in and scores! Fire a deflection! Middlesbrough are not to be denied, and Callie Sen makes it 2-2 with a finish that's deflected and looped over the keeper, Alex McCarthy, stranded in front of goal. The angle was tight, but that didn't matter to Callie Sen. He's made it count, and the leaders equalise with 13 to play at Southampton. It is Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1.
Yeah, really good play from Callie Sen, just making a little dart in to that right hand channel. Great little ball in from Luke Ayling into his path. He takes one touch with his left foot, comes onto his right foot, gets his shot away. As the defender, Wood comes sliding in. It takes a wicked deflection off of Wood, think of his right shin, and just loops up over McCarthy. I'm just looking at McCarthy dance. I think he can do a bit better because it's actually gone past his shoulder. He doesn't react quick enough. Middlesbrough get themselves back into the game at 1-1.
The first touch from Callie Sen there with his left foot to bring the ball down was absolutely exquisite. Finish wasn't bad either, aided and abetted by the deflection, but he won't care. It's 1-1. And that's 2 goals in 2 games for the recent signing from Lausanne in Switzerland. Only cost Middlesbrough a couple of £1 million. And he's got them back level. And the unbeaten record might still be preserved. But Southampton may have other ideas. 1-1 the score. Ball out to the left-hand side for Ryan Manning. Now here's Shea Charles, just inside his own half. Lays it back to Nathan Wood, who had no luck there with the shot that deflected underneath him and looped over the keeper. How does Southampton respond now? Edwards with a diagonal ball looking for Adam Armstrong. Picked him out beautifully. Brings it down onside, left-hand corner of the area. Rolls it across to Yander. Took the shot. It's blocked on its way to goal by Jones. Brilliant block. Was that handball by a Middlesbrough player? Looked like Hackney might have put his hand to the ball. Referee shakes his head, and it's merely a throw to Southampton. It's all happening now. 1-1.
Dance, what a fantastic block from Alfie Jones, because as the ball come out to Yander, looked like he was going to put Southampton 2-1 up. Just a full length block there from Alfie Jones, again throwing his body in front of the ball.
Chelsea 1, Brighton 1 in the Premier League. The Seagulls equalised at Stamford Bridge. Watford 1, Hull 1. Watford get their equaliser in the Championship as well. Imran Louza with the goal for the Hornets. And 1-1 here too. Danny Welbeck that got the goal for Brighton.
For Reading FC have drawn against Stockport, but they are still playing, and it is 1-1 at Stockport County.
Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Sienta fouled on halfway by Target. And Port Vale have just taken the lead at Barnsley in League One after their League Cup exploits. Jordan Gabriel, once of Nottingham Forest, has given Port Vale the lead. Atletico Madrid 3, Real Madrid 2, Julian Alvarez. And Sheffield United lead at Oxford in the Championship. Chris Wilder back on his old stomping ground, and Callum O'Hare has given them the lead. Mansfield 1, Rotherham 1 in League One, an equaliser for Tyler Roberts. And Manchester City are in front against Burnley 2-1, Matheus Nunez. Bergzorg for Middlesbrough just pegged Southampton back with that equalising goal. Worked up to halfway. Lovely touch in field from Nipan to Bergzorg. Trying to set Hansen through the middle. Brilliant interception from Kouachi. If he hadn't got a foot on that, then Sonja Hansen would have been through 1-on-1 on goal. There are chances for either side to win this, Perry Groves.
Yep, the game's opened out. You've got to be fair to Rob Edwards, the Middlesbrough manager. He went like poker player. He's gone all in. Berzog's now come over to his left-hand side, hands over to right-hand side, send through the middle. And I just think they've looked a little bit more of an attacking threat when Luke Aylin's actually been at the right-back position, Dance, with the back four, because there's been 3 or 4 times he's put brilliant balls into the penalty box.
And as soon as you say that, he hits one a bit too long.
But it was actually his ball into Cali Sen from that right-back position, just put it right into his path, which enabled Sen to get the ball out of his feet, and then obviously got the deflection off of Wood. So managers, sometimes they have to try and influence games, Dance, exactly what Rob Edwards has done.
1-1 here. Crawley 1, Barrow 2. Bajrami for Crawley. Walsall lead at Accrington by a goal to 0. Aidan Flint up from the back. Northampton lead Bolton in League One by a goal to 0. Cameron McGeehan. And it was Callum O'Hare putting Sheffield United in front of Oxford. Remember, Sheffield United have not won this season. Loss after loss after loss, but the club where Chris Wilder cut his teeth in management terms might be providing him with his first 3 points in his third spell as manager.
Well, we saw him last week, Dance, didn't we, at home against Charlton Athletic, and they looked like that was a team completely shot of confidence.
Who's got the confidence to take all 3 points here? Southampton in possession at 1-1 with 7.5 minutes to go of normal time, plus whatever the referee wants to add on for stoppages. Don't forget the game day phone in over on TalkSport at 5:30 with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy reacting to all of today's action. Still Palace 1, Liverpool 0 in the Premier League. Let's not forget. Chelsea 1, Brighton 1, Manchester City 2, Burnley 1 and Leeds 2, Bournemouth 1. Balls with Southampton on the halfway line and Nathan Wood the centre half. Options to his right and left, being held up by Cali Sen, the goal scorer for the Boro, so he works it back to Alex McCarthy, the keeper, midway point of his own half. Passes out left via Kouachi to Manning. Game's just calmed down actually in the last couple of minutes. It's like they're gearing up for one final push for both sides.
Yep, they said Dance think they're just getting their second win. We had a really explosive little 15-20 minute period where both teams scored. So now the game is starting to open up. It's what team now can have that little bit of quality, because both goals have been of the top quality. Dance, you know, sometimes in that final third both teams are picking the wrong decision, but in their goals Fellows picked out the right decision obviously for Southampton, and Ayling for Middlesbrough.
Hansen wins a throw for Middlesbrough, level with the 18-yard line on the far side of the field. We're going to be seeing a couple of changes late on for the Saints. Jay Robinson from their academy is going to be coming on, as well as Elias Yellert, who's a full-back, plays right or left full-back. Played at right full-back the other night. He is a left-back by trade, but I wonder where he's going to enter the fray. Meanwhile, it's going to be a long throw for George Edmondson for Middlesbrough. What's his long throw like? We're about to find out.
They scored from a long throw last week, dancing against West Bromwich Albion. Their first goal.
They did. Strelic's goal.
Flick on from Luke Ayling.
From the right-hand side, nearly level with the 18-yard line. George Edmondson about to power this throw in. Ryan Manning is just off the field for the moment. He was just kicking a ball back into the arms of a ball boy. Don't really know what he was doing there. Anyway, here comes the throw from Edmondson for Middlesbrough. Being told to get on with it, not just by the referee but by the fans. Hurls it in there, near post. Comfortably headed clear by Wood. Second ball comes back into the edge of the area. Hansen doesn't lose it. Drops in the penalty spot area and hooked away desperately by Ronnie Edwards. Goes out of play. Another... In fact, a flag's gone up for offside against a Middlesbrough player, so this allows the two changes to be made. And Ross Stewart is coming off for Jay Robinson. So another game where Ross Stewart hasn't managed to be able to complete 90 minutes. And Elias Yellert is coming on for Ryan Manning, so it is a straight swap at left back, but it's interesting to see where Jay Robinson will go. He goes into midfield. Adam Armstrong, Perry, is now the furthest player forward for Southampton for these last 5 minutes plus added time.
Yeah, I'll just give you that little bit of threat in behind Ronnie, because I say Ross Stewart sort of flitted in and out of the game. Dance, I can't remember him having actually a chance, you know, nothing's been created for him. A little bit of frustration.
Well, you said that they wanted a focal point before the game, and he tried to provide that, but now they're going with the pace of Adam Armstrong through the middle for these last 4 minutes of normal time, plus whatever's to be added on for stoppages. Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1 on TalkSport 2. There's a winner in this for somebody out there. Ronnie Edwards clips a long ball downfield for Southampton. Jones only gets it half clear and yanders onto it, and he was hauled back by Hackney, and that will be a yellow card for the totting up procedure, says the referee, for the Middlesbrough Academy graduate Hayden Hackney. And Southampton have a free kick opportunity to work into the box. Grimsby are now 7-1 up in their game against managerless Cheltenham, really putting the Robins to the sword. Charlton 2, Blackburn 0. Sonny Carey may have sealed the points for Charlton. And Walsall 2-0 up at Accrington Stanley now. Aaron Presley gets the second for the Saddlers. Chesterfield 2, Newport County 1. Might be a bit late for Newport, although Chesterfield haven't won in 5. Stockport 1, Reading 1. Reading equalised through Jack Marriott. Here's the free kick for Leo Cienza for Southampton. Swirls it into the penalty area. Up go the heads. Wood gets a flick header on it, and Shea Charles was after it. It was almost having the shirt pulled off his back by Alfie Jones, and the Southampton coaching staff, including Paul Trollope, making that point to the fourth official down beneath us, but it falls on deaf ears. Peterborough 0, Lincoln City 3 now. Just an ubiquity. 28,605 here at St Mary's this afternoon. Probably about 2,500 of those have come down from Teesside, and I guess they'll go home happy if things stay like this. Perry Groves?
Well, keeps their unbeaten record intact, doesn't it? And obviously after going 1-0 down, which was against the run of play, to be fair, when Armstrong scored. So their manager, which they want to see, Dance, you want to see your managers, you know, being proactive, and exactly what Rob Edwards did. He changed the shape, obviously went 4-3-3. See him get themselves back into the game now with 2 minutes coming up with normal time to play. It's what one of these two teams can fashion the winner.
Yeller with the ball in from the right hand side. He is playing on the right, actually, Elias Yeller, even though he's come on for Manning He's playing on the right-hand side. Ryan Fraser's almost playing as a left wing-back for Southampton. Now it's Wood firing it out to the left-hand side for Robinson, but he can't get past the experienced Luke Ayling. So we're into the last 2 minutes of normal time. 1-1 the score. Wood drives it downfield into the feet of Sienta, but too heavy a touch from the Brazilian. Oh, that's a poor touch from Sonja Hansel. Really tried to be too clever inside his own half. Southampton work it up to the edge of the Middlesbrough box. Ayling brings the ball down with his chest, and it's away for Delano Bergsorg down the Middlesbrough right. Nipat inside, gives it back to Bergsorg. Ayling holding that right-hand side of midfield, gets it now. Hansen and Sen waiting for a cross. Nipat has it, works it back to midfield. It's Brown who swings in a very deep swirling cross high into the air, but Yeller will comfortably bring it down and clip it downfield for Sienta, who's caught by target. Free kick to Southampton inside their own half, and a yellow card for Matt Target on his return to Southampton. Atletico Madrid 4, Real Madrid 2 in Spain. Watford have turned it around against Hull as well. Watford 2, Hull City 1. Vivaldo Semedo for Watford, who haven't won in 4. Shrewsbury get one back against MK Dons. Shrewsbury 1, MK 2. Chukwuemeka. Into the last 20 seconds of normal time. 1-1 here at St Mary's. Southampton in possession on this near side, on halfway with Elias Yeller. Drives the ball downfield, looking for the head of Adam Armstrong, but Middlesbrough loft it clear with Hackney. Edwards cushions a header down on halfway for Charles, and then Yanda does well to keep possession for Southampton as we move into 3 minutes only of minimum stoppage time. Robinson, lovely skill, left-hand side for Southampton to get away from Ayling. He's got plenty to aim at in the box, checks his run, finds Fraser, left-hand corner of the box, but it was an awkward touch. He managed to improvise a ball back to Shea Charles. Now it's with Yanda in the centre of the half. Wood plays it to his right for Edwards. Yellett calling for it on this near side, gives it back to Ronnie Edwards. Nathan Wood just in front of the centre circle, squares it left for Kwashi. Southampton pressing here, looking for a winner, having led and been pegged back. Back it goes to Nathan Wood in the centre circle, options left and right, goes immediate right for Edwards. Now Yellett picks it up, but he's faced up by Matt Target, and they're forced back to halfway again by Middlesbrough. Now a diagonal ball from Wood. Lovely ball as well. Can Ryan Fraser keep it in play? Not quite. It's going to be a Middlesbrough throw in their right back position. 1-1 on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, I think that was a Wood. It should have been an iron dance, to be fair. Should have just floated out with maybe a 7 iron. He's used the 3 Wood. Just gone out of play. Just Robinson did really well for Southampton down that left-hand side. And what he should be doing, Brown's come over to close him down. Then Armstrong's in the middle. All Robinson's do is just feed the ball in between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box to see if Armstrong get on the end of it, and he ends up checking back, and that enables Middlesbrough then to get their team shape back, where they go into a 4-5-1 formation when they're obviously out of possession.
Now Robinson again trying to get the better of Ayling down the Southampton left, but Ayling wins back possession. Hansen turns it down the right hand side as Middlesbrough come forward in added time. Bergsorg actually, it's brilliant defending from Joshua Kwasi. Got his foot in, hit it against Bergsorg, and it ends up being a throw for Southampton. But time is running out here. Nearly 2 minutes of the minimum 3 have gone, and it's still 1 apiece. Is there to be one last chance for either side? It's Southampton in possession inside their own half with Wood. Gets up to the midway point of his own half, squares it right for Edwards, who gives it back to Wood under pressure from Hansen. Across to Kwasi. Bergsorg almost took the ball off his toe, but now Fraser can scurry down the left-hand side for Southampton as we move into that last minute of added time. Fraser goes down. He's brought down by Nipan, gets a yellow card, just the Middlesbrough substitute, and one last chance for Southampton to swing the ball into a box from a left-sided free kick. 1-1.
Yeah, just a bit of desperation there from Nipan. Ryan Fraser just marauding down that left-hand side, just toe pokes it with his right foot. Nipan comes in, trips him up. Farid Alam, the referee, gets another yellow card out. As you said, Dance, this is probably going to be Southampton's last chance to feed the ball into the 18-yard box.
Well, Middlesbrough are holding their line on the 18-yard line. It's out on the left-hand side, 2 or 3 yards in from the touchline. The 3 minutes of minimum stoppage time are now up. It's down to the referee how much more we add on. Free kick then for Southampton. that Cienza's going to take, right-footed, drills it into the box, up go the heads, cleared away by Alfie Jones. It will drop for Hansen, who'll get there first for Middlesbrough, and he's caught by Cienza, and the full-time whistle goes, and Middlesbrough's unbeaten record in the Championship is maintained. But boy, how they had to scrap and fight to get themselves that point against Southampton, who went ahead in the second half against the run of play through a clinical finish from Adam Armstrong, drilling the ball low and hard into the bottom corner from Tom Fellowes' right wing cross. But Rob Edwards made a raft of changes to try and keep Middlesbrough competitive, and one of those changes who came on, Cali Sen, got his second goal in as many appearances for his new club after he was fed down the right hand side of the area. Exquisite first touch and a second touch that deflected off a Southampton defender and looped over Alex McCarthy to give Middlesbrough a point to take back to Teesside. Perry Groves.
Dance, it was a really, really intriguing game. The first half kept you on the edge of your seat because both teams obviously were trying to craft if they could get a chance to go in the lead. And then in the second half, there was a little bit more quality just for that sort of 10-15 minute spell in the middle of the second half, Dance, where we said in the first half both teams couldn't find that final pass or that little bit of quality, and Southampton did exactly that in the 61st minute. And we said there was a good battle between Targett and Fellowes on Southampton's right hand side. The ball come out to Fellowes, he went 1v1 against Targett, went to go on the outside, got his cross in, just took a little nick, and then that just looped up to the far post where Armstrong just timed his run to perfection, Dance, and as the ball just fell out of the air, you won't see a sweeter volley all season. With his left foot, just make sure he controlled it with his the top with his laces, just smashed it back across Bryn, give him absolutely no chance in the Middlesbrough goal. That goal, Dance, actually came against the run of play, to be fair, didn't it? Because obviously Middlesbrough were putting Southampton on a bit of pressure, and then you're looking what Middlesbrough player can change the course of the game. And then you're looking at the manager, and Rob Edwards has a reputation of making substitutions and being proactive. Exactly what he did. He brought on Hansen, Sen and Burzog, went 4-3-3. Luke Ayling went out to the right hand side, went as a right back instead of obviously the right sided sort of one of the centre half of the three, and he put a couple of lovely balls into the box. And the third one that he had, he just got his head up, he just whipped the ball into Sen. Sen made a really good run in the inside right position. First touch was brilliant with the instep of his left foot, and then he just tried to cut it back across McCarthy with his right foot. Wood come sliding in, took a deflection, went up over McCarthy. I just wonder if the goalkeeper could have had sharper reactions. Ended up in the far corner there. That went to 1-1. Then you're thinking, right, what team can have that little bit of quality in that last 10 minutes? And it didn't come. It wasn't through the lack of effort, it wasn't through lack of endeavour. But I have to say, Dance, as a championship game, I thought this was a real top quality championship game.
It was, and the Middlesbrough players and staff have gone across to those travelling fans in that corner of the stadium to our left hand side to thank them for their journey down from Teesside to support Middlesbrough. And they do look happy, Middlesbrough. They've maintained that unbeaten record. A second draw of the season to go with all the other wins. But what if Will Still in Southampton? More frustrations for him this afternoon, Perry Groves?
It'll be frustration, but I think that he'll be pleased with his team's performance. Obviously, he went back to the 4-2-3-1 formation. Ross Stewart through the middle, who sort of flitted on the periphery, didn't he, Dance, of the game. They had good link-up play actually on their left with Armstrong and Ryan Manning, you know, and it was Armstrong which he ended up putting Southampton in front. I think he'll be disappointed that they couldn't hang on to that 1-0 lead, but I think afterwards he'll be pleased with his team performance because you're playing against one of the form teams along with Coventry obviously in the Championship, and they've gone toe to toe with them, so there was a lot of quality on show. I was very impressed with Shay Charles playing in the midfield area for Southampton. I think he's very composed, he's got a lot of balance, you know, he's got a lot of poise when he's on the ball. So he'll be disappointed his team haven't won, but I think he'll be delighted with his team performance.
Well, that point takes Middlesbrough 4 points clear at the top of the Championship on 17 points. Coventry on 13. Stoke will be on 13 if it ends up a draw against Norwich. They're still playing in that game. Bristol City, Leicester and Preston all on 12 points. So a good day for Rob Edwards and Middlesbrough to get a point and keep that unbeaten run going. Perry, thank you as always.
Cheers, Dan.
For your company this afternoon. And thank you for listening wherever and however you've been tuning into TalkSport 2 this afternoon. Don't forget, we're your home of the EFL all season long, including the playoffs in every division once we get round to next May. Don't forget, TalkSport is the only place on national radio where you get a full classified results check on all today's full times. That's with Adrian Durham on around about 5:15, so you can swipe across on the TalkSport app to listen to TalkSport and get that full classified check. Don't forget, we've got live Super League coming up tonight on TalkSport 2. Leeds against St Helens in the playoffs. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Our coverage starts at 7:45. A whole raft of NFL tomorrow, including the afternoon game at Croke Park in Dublin. We're over there with Will Gavin and the team for Pittsburgh against Minnesota from Croke Park. Our coverage starts at 2 p.m. From 5:30 on TalkSport this afternoon, it's the Game Day phone-in with Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara taking your calls on the day's football action. They'll bring you updates from Forest, Sunderland in the Premier League. Following that, Faker Ruthers will bring you live coverage from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Our second exclusive Premier League commentary of the day is Spurs against Wolves. And tomorrow, we'll take you around the grounds on TalkSport with Game Day Live with Sam Matterface from 1:30. Wall-to-wall football on TalkSport. Coming up next here on TalkSport 2, it's the William Hill Sportsbook Club. Been in our 3 p.m. game here at St Mary's. It finished Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Out, poor clearance from Middlesbrough. Now Azaz pokes it into the area, might drop for Armstrong at the edge of the box, and he drives it straight at Edmondson. Ryan Manning got space 30 yards out, drives it goalwards. It's blocked by a crowd of players, comes out to the edge of the area, and it's blasted over the bar by Finn Azaz.
Dance, that should be finish Azaz, because he should be finishing in that.
Good cross from Fellows, drops to the far post, it's in! Adam Armstrong puts Southampton in front, and they've got the fans chanting, because this could be Southampton's first league win since the opening weekend.
That is a goal, Dance, of the top quality edition.
Ayling looking for the run-off, sending the area down the right-hand side of the box, gets the shot in and scores! Fire a deflection! Middlesbrough are not to be denied, and the full-time whistle goes, and Middlesbrough's unbeaten record in the Championship is maintained.
Hello everyone, and welcome again, and welcome. Thank you for joining and listening to this awesome and epic game that was. And it has been a very lots and lots of games happening. So we've already had 2 streams already, and we've got 2 more streams to go. So get yourself ready for the next stream in any minute. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in just a moment. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you again. Welcome to Robotic Maniac. Oh, and by the way as well, Reading have won. And let me just quickly go through all the games that have gone through, all from the Premier League to the non-leagues. Here we go. So here comes Brentford. Brentford won against Manchester United by a 3-1 win. Then we had Chelsea. Chelsea have got a red card, and Chelsea have won and did not win the game, and Brighton takes the win. And Crystal Palace are drawing with Liverpool. Leeds United are drawing a 2-2 draw. Leeds United versus AFC Bournemouth are winning by 2-2. It's not winning, but drawing by 2 goals. Then we've got another whopping big massive win for Manchester City with an absolute whopping good goals and a 5-1 against Burnley. Then in just a moment we will be going live for the Nottingham Forest versus Sunderland game, and then later on we will be going over to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and playing against Wolves. In the Championship we have the early kickoffs. We had a Birmingham derby. It was like more of a derby, can I say. Coventry versus Birmingham. Birmingham got a red card and it was Coventry 3. And Then it was another draw, a 1-1 draw for Swansea City and Millwall, and Wrexham and Derby, a 1-1 draw. Then Charlton Athletic were 3 and Blackburn Rovers 0. Ipswich 2, Portsmouth 1. Oxford United 0 and lost to Sheffield United. Then there was a 0-0 draw. Then there was another draw. There's a lot of draws happening this part of the time. Then we had another draw for the Sheffield Wednesday versus QPR. Then we've just watched a game with Southampton versus Middlesbrough, and it was a 1-1 draw. Stoke City and Norwich City, a 1-1 draw. And finally, Watford 2, Hull City 1. Then we have in League 2 the early kickoffs. We had Wimbledon and Wickham, and Wimbledon took the 3 points by a 2-1. Leyton Orient lost at home against Stevenage, and it was a 2-3. Then Barnsley lost to Port Vale, and that was really upsetting for Barnsley. And Port Vale took the 3 points, and it is a 2-goal win. Then we had Bradford. Then Bradford took the win, so it's a 1-0 draw, or 1-0, just a complete 1-0. Then Plymouth Argyle with a whopping good goals, and Burton Albion got absolutely obliterated by a 4-0 complete 4-0, absolutely destroyed, and that was really sad to see. With Exeter City hosting Huddersfield, and Huddersfield took the win away. Then Luton Town hosting Doncaster Rovers, and is it Doncaster Rovers? Might be wrong. Doncaster took the win. Mansfield Town won at the end of the time, in injury time, and they won at their home against Rotherham. Northampton Town have won against Bolton, and it was a 2-0 win. Peterborough was beaten by Lincoln City, and that was a 3-0 win. And today for our beloved Reading FC, and they drawed against Stockport County. Wigan Athletic got lost to Cardiff City. It looked a really bad whatever that was, but it was not looking good for them. In League 2, we have Crawley Alexander versus Stockport, and that was a 2-1 goal. Oldham and Brennett, that was a 1-1 draw. Then Walsall won against Accrington Stanley, and that was a 3-1. Then Bristol Rovers won against Salford City, and Salford City got a red card as well. Chesterfield got a whopping 4-1 against Newport, and Crawley lost to Boro, a 2-1. Then another whopping 4-2 against Colchester. Fleetwood actually did really quite well in that game. And then into Chillingham and Harrogate Town, just a 1-0 draw, 1-0. And then a whopping, absolute whopping, and I'm telling you now, whopping, Grimsby Town with an absolute whopping 7-1 to Cheltenham Town. Then Shrewsbury with our beloved, and I'll tell you this again, but our beloved MK Dons won the game. Swindon Town won against Bromley, and Transmere Rovers versus Cambridge United was a 1-1 draw. So there you go, guys. I can't do the non-leagues today, but I will do that in the next streams. But guys, thank you for all the support today. It's been absolutely brilliant. And that is all the Saturday coverage of every single goal in every single game. And I will see you all soon in the next brand new and epic stream. In just a moment, in just a few seconds. Bye-bye.